Good morning, Chair. I rise to report that the quorum does exist for the Standing Committee on Public Enterprises to commence business.
Thank you, Clerk. It has been reported that the quorum does exist for the Standing Committee on Public Enterprises to commence business. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say aye.
No.
No. The ayes have it. Thank you. Can someone move a motion for us to adopt the agenda? It has been moved and seconded we adopt the agenda as it is. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Mr. Chairman and the senior management of GAMPOST, may I extend a warm morning greeting to you. And we want to apologize for the late start because we want to fix one or two things. But it's unfortunate we have delayed your time for a while. But nonetheless, our apologies.
No problem, Honorable.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Subject matter specialist, representative from the National Audit Office, and from GPPA, our clerks with the research personnel, esteemed members of PEC. May I extend a warm morning greeting to all of you. Mr. Chairman, next on the agenda is the introduction of members as usual. This has been a routine exercise that we do in all our engagement with the state-owned enterprises on the program. So I will start with myself. I am Honorable Lani Sane, National Assembly Member for Belkama, Chairman of the committee.
Good morning.
Honorable Mr. Yao Jokadu, I am a member of this committee. Good morning, Abdullah Jai from Bali Central, a member of this committee.
Good morning. I am Fatma Taketa, clerk to the committee.
Good morning. I am Fatmata.
Yes.
Good morning. I am Fatmata Kisi Sao, Secretary to the committee.
Good morning. I am Alhaji Omar Khan, subject matter specialist for the PEC committee.
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Boubacar Angelo from the National Audit Office.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm also representing GPPA.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, the patent is yours for you to do the introduction.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable members of the committee. My name is Abdullah Jalo. I'm the first deputy governor of Central Bank of the Gambia, and I'm chairman of the GAMPOST.
Good morning. My name is Navin Chan. I'm the managing director at GAMPOST.
Good morning. My name is Sam Messenger. I'm the financial controller of GAMPOST.
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Bakari Sanya, managing partner of Foresight Accountancy and Audit Partners.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. May I apologize? During my initial statement where I extend business to I forgot to extend it to my the external audit firm. That was unfortunate, but my apology, please. Mr. Chairman, I want to inquire whether the same team have, all of you have taken quotes during the presentation.
Yes, we did. Yes, Honorable, yes, we did when we are presenting.
Okay. So for today, we are only, you are still on the oath, we are going to continue with that.
No problem.
And as you are aware during the presentation, you have delivered presentation on management letter, activity report and financial statement, which was given to us, and we also went through to look at it, what is entailed in the, what is contained in these reports. and today is primarily meant for consideration. So I will open the floor for my members to start asking questions from any of this report that was shared with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. Can we go to the financial statement? Page 24. At the bottom where you have senior management of the corporation expenses. Now the first line you have salaries and wages. Now I just want to inquire from management about these wages. Does this senior management also get wages or they are paid on the salaries? Thank you.
Our response, senior management are only paid salaries and wages.
Yes, Chair, just a follow-up question. What wages also is captured?
Probably is the name of the coding, salaries and wages, in case there are any wages paid. But for senior management, in fact, campus does not pay wages, we only pay salaries.
To buttress on his point, if you look at this particular 19.3, senior management of the corporation, then you have salaries and wages. These are connected. So like if you look at the total here, 484,000. And in 2020, it was 551,000. So he was very much curious about why do you put wages here when the senior management are not entitled to wages.
What I mean to say is like probably that is based on the setup of the accounting software, the naming of the code, but we can definitely work on that and remove the wages part of it and just leave it as salaries. Because we are only paying salaries, not wages, salaries and wages. But the name of the code itself is salaries and wages, and the preparation of financial statement was based on the report that was generated from the accounting software. But then we can definitely work on that and remove that. That will take time for us to do.
But I want to believe that when this document was produced, you are privy to this.
Yes.
Sometimes it can bring an eyebrow,
yes.
That salaries and wages. So, but then we will allow you to remove it. Next time we will try it as much as to remove these things. Huh? Okay. You have another? Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If you look at the financial statement, page 10, yes, income and expenditure statement. I must first of all congratulate you because in 2020 you have lost about 1,128,471. But in 2021 there is a significant improvement. You made a loss of 2.5 million. 5 million. 2.5 million.
Profit.
Huh?
Profit.
Profit, yes.
Profit, yes.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying you made a profit of 2.5 million.
Yes.
So if you look at the trend in which, what is responsible in these things? Because I'm looking at the expenditure and the revenue column, there is a significant mark. So that is why you are able to maximize this profit. And we are very much worried about the liquidity position of this institution. How do you intend to maintain this and improve upon these things significantly?
Thank you very much, Kia.
Yes.
Look at 2020. This was during the time of COVID. And we know our activity is connected to air transportation for the airlift of mails and cargo. So in 2021, COVID died down. The revenue started to pick up a little bit. And we hope that this trend continues.
Are we expecting more revenues in the near future?
Yes, we are expecting more revenues in the near future. But we maybe also say that our industry is not regulated as we are talking. So we have a whole lot of intruders into our business now. Somebody can get up in the morning, set up a small collateral policy, and they started doing the course of his job. So it's like the industry is not regulated, and we have written to our line ministry to ask PURA to come in to regulate the industry so that it will be a level playing field. But as at now, PURA, I think because of capacity issue, according to them, they are looking at it seriously. But for now, that regulation did not start. And it's like anybody can just jump in and come into the industry.
Just to add on it, it is specifically stipulated in our act that any meals that falls from 0 to 2 kilograms should be sent using the postal service, that is GAMPOST. So you look at our competitors, the likes of, I don't want to mention names, our competitors, the likes of other private courier services. I can say 75 to 80% of their revenue are generated and they fall from this category. Now we have ZBS all over. They are doing the work on the postal services. Because what they do is now, if I'm going to UK, I'm going to the US, I just put on my statement, maybe I have a shop or a business that I registered for $500, and now I'm doing the postal service. But these are jobs that we are supposed to be set up and given to the postal services, and now everybody is doing it, and now there is no control over it. Likewise, similar thing that we are facing in the financial service department. Similar thing, there are a lot of money transfer services that are happening in Gambia, and they are not regulated. They are not. We have been regulated. We are following procedures. We are following regulations from the central bank and others, but they are not doing so because they are only having a corner shop and doing their money transfers. And again, most of the revenue that they are tapping on, they are tapping from the people that are registered validly. So basically, it's something that we don't have control over, but we will definitely need a helping hand towards addressing this issue because it is really affecting our operations as far as revenue is concerned.
Since the issue of liberalization is very integral here, don't you think the issue of the pricing can also contribute to that?
To talk about the pricing, when it comes to the postal tariff,
yes.
In fact, we don't have control of that. That is controlled by central government.
Okay.
We don't have the mandate to increase the tariff. And in fact, I can tell you that the postal tariff in the Gambia here, GAMPOST is the cheapest among all these companies, being private or whoever it is. We have the cheapest. You can send a mail as cheap as $350 and it will be delivered anywhere in the world, wherever the mail is destined to go. You go to the private couriers, you want to send a simple driver's license, you pay nothing less than $3,000. And yet still, like we said, we partnering with some of them. In fact, if you want to send a mail using one of the major private courier here, I don't want to mention their names, you can come to the postal service and yes, still you can send your mail at a very minimal delivery time frame, as minimum as 7 working days, and get it delivered wherever you want it to go and still at a cheaper rate. Yes, we came here so many times, they talk about the marketing issue. We work on that, we are marketing, we are going out, knocking doors, we are going to the government offices, private sectors, anywhere, we are making noise. Yes, but despite that, it's still a problem.
Yeah. But during the Ramadan, some may recall, the whole of Ramadan we have been advertising on GRTS about our services.
Honorable, I just have to step in. You can see the enthusiasm of the financial director about the challenges that GAMPOST is facing. But I cannot let this August body go without informing you. I come from the central bank. That the financial sector is also regulated. There is a financial fintech department in the central bank that regulates the foreign bureaus, the forex bureaus. So there is indeed a regulation. But there is a challenge, of course. So we understand that there are parallel, there is also a parallel market we're also dealing with, but a significant proportion of the market is being regulated by the central bank. Now, I think, Honorable Chair, you have really hit the nail on the head. 2020 was really the aftermath of the COVID-19. 2021, as you've said, now we had a profit, and I think that is what the trend is now, going forward. And in as much as we have challenges faced in all aspects of where the revenue sources are for GAMPOST, I think we would now look at the prognosis. We are really more optimistic now going forward. Because there are new revenue sources that have been leveraged by management, and they're doing a very good job on that. So we hope that the next account will be more promising than 2021.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Before you hand over the mic to the other guy, don't you think the technological advancement in the IT industry might be a challenge? Because what you've been dealing with now is not very much popular as far as the IT industry. And if so, do you have any other strategy, at least to expand your scope in order to venture into other activities that are going to be more income generating? Especially last time you made mention of going for the money transfer and those stuff. And again, is this in line with the Act? Is the Act obsolete enough? Do you have any intention to improve upon the Act in order to review it?
Yes, yes. I will also let management go after, but I'll step in on the part of the content. I think, yes, the challenge is the technology part that we're facing. But we've already completed a strategic plan for the next 5 years for GAMPOST, instructed by the Honorable Minister of Digital Economy. We just submitted to the ministry. Now, that is very forward-looking and it's very proactive. So it also includes addressing those challenges that you has identified, which is the technology as well as the other parts of it. So we are now working on finalizing and decide who will start implementing it, maybe towards the end of the year or early next year, and then we'll address those things. So, but I think in terms of the technical part of it, I'll ask the management to they can add some more points to that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Yes, of course, our industry is now more technology driven. We are aware of this, and we are working very hard to make sure that we catch up. The fact of the matter is we are a little bit behind, but we are doing our best. We have engaged partners. Some are local, some are international. For example, we are currently engaging with one technology firm in Ghana, and they visited us. We had some constructive discussions with them, and then hopefully we are able to work with them. And also we are engaging some local technology companies too, to make sure that our digital drive remains on track, so that we can catch up in terms of technology. Of course, the issue is revenue, and then how much we can broaden the revenue base. Yes, of course, we have started discussions with local institutions. For example, the Accountant General Department. We are working with them. Negotiations are ongoing so that we will be able to render some services for them. Of course, what remains a sticking point is about how much we are to get as an institution by rendering that service to the Accountant General Department. For example, in relation to the issue of passport forms, passport collection, fees. This is something that we are currently discussing with the Accountant General Department. Although discussions stall around what we should get, but we are very hopeful that we will be able to resolve this issue, and that will serve as an additional revenue line for GAMPOST. And then we'll be also working with the Immigration Department. For example, instead of people having to go to immigration and queue there, when we sell the forms on behalf of the Accountant General Department, online we can also fill the forms for the applicants, just like people do with the embassies. So instead of people going there, so now these appointment times will be automatically generated for the passport applicants. So now once it is printed and given to you, so you know that, oh, this particular day I am supposed to go to immigration for my passport interview. And that will also serve as an additional revenue source for the company.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman,
yes.
These are very beautiful ideas and strategies that you want to embark on in order to improve the liquidity position of the corporation. But is it in conformity with the Act for you to be able to deliver these things? Don't you think some of the provisions can be an obstacle to what you want to do?
Honorable, I'm really welcoming your stance because it is quite into the fact that you are ready to support us if you have any challenge for the act. I promise you that we are focusing on the strategy part of going forward and addressing the binding constraints. And we really didn't delve much on the act. But we will go and embark and see where there will be limitations, and then we'll come back to you to help us remedy those or smooth those kinks. But as we were doing at the time, we think it was more a question like President was explaining. It was more an issue of implementation rather than the lack of an act or a law to guide it. So as we saw in the case of the sizes of the packages that are being now transacted by private entrepreneurs. So what we call is we will go back again and look at the whole act again and then come back to if we need them to expand or if we need to implement, then we also consult the entities that work on the implementing.
May I ask this question? When was it last reviewed?
2005.
2005.
Since its establishment, it has never been reviewed.
Yes, and I think I can add something to what the chairman said in terms of enforcement. Yes. Now, for example, the act is any package weighing from 1 to 2 kilograms, all the letters weighing that amount should go through the GAMPOST, not through any other private operation. But this is not happening because that particular aspect is not enforced. So that's why we engage our line ministry to engage Pura to see that this thing becomes enforced, so that the revenue base of GAMPOST can grow. Because if every person, when 2 kilograms down goes through GAMPOST, I think that is an excellent source of revenue. Yeah. But that is not happening as at now.
The reason why I'm laying emphasis on the act, you talk about parcels that are weighing above 2 kilos, supposed to go there. And already you have sister institutions in the country that are also registered the issue of Liberalization Commission. So now, I know the GAMPOST is an entity that is there to step in for government in the area of communication, especially the use of parcels from one entity to another, particularly outside the country. But I want to understand whether the Act is saying all the government institutions that have a vote line for this type of communication, whether that is direct to GAMPOST or the entire citizenry are you talking about. So that is why we need to look at the Act.
Yes.
No, here, I think what is more specific is the amount of kilo. Yes. Any kilo from anyway from 2 kilograms downwards, yes, should go through GAMPOST for the entire citizenry, not necessarily only government.
Okay. Yeah. But the entire citizenry. Now, yes, if the industry is liberalized, and you have already institutions have been registered to do a similar service that you are doing, and it's the same government that gives them license to operate. So now, when you come to the citizenry, government is going to be difficult to force people to adhere to those things. So that is why we have to look at the Act and make necessary adjustments in order to allow this flow of partnering with GAMPOST.
It's not.
Honorable Mr. Chairman. Yes, we checked in the management letter. We went through the management letter, but we have few issues in the management letter that are rated very high, particularly saving banks activities. Page 4. Yeah. The auditors observe the corporation is mandated by its act to provide saving bank and money transfer service to customers across the entire country. During the audit, we carry out a comprehensive review of saving banks and activities. we noted the following reportable matters. One, lack of recent assessment of the financial and or commercial viability of the savings bank operation by comparing the operational cost vis-a-vis the income drive from savings bank and activities to access its operational self-sufficiency. Two, they're talking about collections from the savings. So these are issues, and up to three, they also noted challenges in respect to the software. And the management response, GAMPOST is mandated by the Gambia Postal Service Corporation Act 2005, Section 116, Sub 2, to encourage a thrift in the Gambia and in line with the management vision to promote financial inclusion. Management is currently working with the Board of Directors to review the update of GAMPOST Act. As one, corporate strategy to meet the growing demand of technological emergence, and the brand, the saving bank unit, to embrace digitalization in the quest to improve its operation value and volume. This has resulted in management introducing a mobile airtime and cash power sales to supplement the revenue generation of the saving banks. So I am worried about the issue of the third one, that is talking about the software. How far are you with that?
Yes, Honorable Chairman. At the time of the audit, there were some issues with, some challenges with the software that was addressed. And after, when we received the draft, we invited the developers. We were give the ICT solution. So they sent in the technicians. So they were stationed in the head office here for almost 2 weeks.
This is purely about the software?
No, it was software because they were facing some challenges. So what happened is when they were communicating, but at the time they were not responding. But that was addressed.
Okay. So how about the review of the Act?
The review of the Act, that hasn't been done yet.
Mr. Chairman, in the response, in respect to the Act, so the management is working with the Board of Directors to review the GAMPOST Act 2005. What steps have you taken?
Honorable, we haven't started in earnest, but I think we may have been starting to do the legwork. But as you said here, to update the GAMPOST and the corporate strategy, we had worked on the corporate strategy as a priority because we are given a deadline to finish by the end of the first quarter. So we have focused on that because we started, this new management the new board started, I think it almost almost, I think it was October. Yeah. So the next step is now to review these other assignments, which will be the Act. But management can substantiate this.
Thank you very much, Ken. Well, myself and the board chairman, we are coming in newly at GAMPOST. But I understand there was a time that there was no board in place at GAMPOST for about very close to 9 months. So I think that gap must have actually created this problem. As the Honorable Chairman said, we will start looking at this current board.
Just to give you an overview, the discussion happened when the previous board were there. So over time, the strategy was to discuss on this matter, that is to review the board, the Act, and then prepare another strategy for the next 5 years, because our old strategy was then getting completed. So however, during the process, the board term also ended. So there were a gap almost over 9 months that the term of the board was not renewed. So we were waiting for that. So when the new board came, we did the inauguration, and then there was a priority for us to get a strategy first, 5-year strategy, and then look at the board charter. So even if in this new strategy, it is also a priority one that we should revisit the act as it is required.
Okay. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
You go to page 6, 2.1, QuickBooks accounting software. This has been observed by the auditors. I want you to update us what steps have you taken. And this is rated very high.
Okay, I have to defer to the senior management to answer this.
Thank you, Chair. This was reported by the auditors, yes. We contracted a consultant to work on this QuickBooks software. So we paid 50% of the amount, which was 162,500. 50% was paid to be for the software to be implemented, and then 50% to be paid after full implementation. So over time, when implementation started, the development was completed at the level of the consultant. So what happened is there were challenges. So when he came for the installation in the server, because we wanted a multi-user. Currently what we have is a single user version. So multi-user requires a lot of equipment in terms of capacity in the server, the equipment and machinery, that is computers and everything. So when he came to do the installation, those issues were missing. So over time, management had to work on that and then make sure that we acquired the necessary computers that were needed and everything. So at the time when we were writing this response, you can see that we also said that data migration up to 2022 at the time was completed, and full enhancement training was scheduled to be done. So we scheduled the training because a 5 multi-user, the chief cashier was it, and then some staff from the financial service department, accountant, everything. But when we started this training, over time, we received notification from most of those staff to leave for greener pastures. So basically everything has to restart again. So we had to put that on hold and then start the recruitment again. So it was difficult because when you hire staff to do this kind of job, at the end of the day, their pay is so minimal that sustainability was an issue. And these were staff that were very key. So currently we have a new batch of staff. The entire software is complete, but yet still we did not pay the final 50%. So we have new staff that are recruited, but they are less than 6 months old in the job. Currently they are doing some hard induction training on the job matter. So over time, in fact, recently we have had a discussion about the matter so that we can invite the consultants again to conduct the training and then make sure that the multi-user version is set. But currently the installation, the user rights, all the 5 users that are created, all of them are there and created. So we are only left with the training. But in-house, we are even doing training at our level. Yes. But just to complete the matter and then let the software developer finalize the software.
To add to that, may I say that capacity is a problem at GAMPOST. Definitely you have staff there, who have low level of training. And it's very difficult to attract qualified and skilled staff. It's very difficult also to retain them because of the level of the salaries. I'm sure when we came here the last time, we submitted the pay scale to you guys. So having a look at that pay scale, it is very difficult to recruit, and if you recruit, it's very difficult to retain. Now, for example, when I came in newly, I needed a driver as managing director. Now I recruited somebody, but started with my travel. Then when the guy came for his employment letter, that was the day he dropped it. He said no. So for the 7 months or whatever I spent at campus, I'm driving myself, for example. I'm just giving an example. That's not the problem, driving yourself. But because of the level of salaries, we are not able to recruit staff, but more importantly, skilled staff. And even if they come, barely a couple of months, they call it a day. So capacity is a real issue at campus. And I'll give another example. We had to sign these we have to sign the audit manuals with the Directorate of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance. But, you know, we have capacity problem at our internal audit that they are not even able to review those documents and, you know, make recommendations to management. What should be accepted or what should not be accepted. So it's like myself and the finance director, we are doing everything possible. Even this morning they call us. We told them it is reviewed. We will call you tomorrow 2:30. We look at issues. When we resolve, we sign them. So capacity is a major problem at campus. And for us now, it's difficult to see how to go with that in the presence of these low salaries.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
You have the assertion from the MD and the finance director. And this is seriously under the governing board domain. The attrition is very high. That resulted to staff retention. And as a result, the needed capacity is lacking, especially with the strategic approach we want to do in order to improve upon the liquidity position. Yes, we have the director of the state-owned enterprise that have been dealing with you. What is your relation with them in terms of informing them about this issue? And two, we have enacted a law that has also established a commission. And the commission does the regulations. And definitely, I think these are assets that we need to improve seriously. And government cannot continue to privatize these major assets of the country. But that does not mean that you have to be rolling at a loss. But if you look at this one, what it does made it crystal clear. If the status quo contained in this remains, which means value for money will not be attained, you are going back to the same problem, you will be rolling at a loss. So, as a board with your team, what engagement are you doing with the Directorate of the State-owned Enterprise and the Commission to make sure that you improve, attract good quality staffs and see how do you improve? I know the improvement also has to be at par with the liquidity position so that the operational cost might not be more than the income.
Yes, Honorable, you are perfectly right. Yes, we have actually the issue about retention and salary, the low salary scale was a big part of the budget preparation for this 2024 budget. And it was submitted, we really scaled up and submitted to SOE. But they came back and told us to hold it because they are reviewing, the government is reviewing the salaries of all SOEs. So in this case, they didn't want to do it piece by piece. But I didn't stop there. I haven't even confided to my MD yet. I happened to be on a mission with the Minister of Finance when I told him also the level of salaries at the GAMPOST, and he also explained, was surprised at the level. So it is because you have pulled this out of me right now. It was something I was going to discuss with him since I came. We haven't met yet to see what can we do to go and to see if there is a second approach to this. And we are positively optimistic because now the revenues are also improving significantly. The liquidity is improving for the 2024 year. So we think that we may have a case to justify both to the Commission as well as the Secretary, the Directorate in the Ministry, starting of us convincing the Minister. But we needed to get the numbers us here before we can approach them. But we are very concerned about it, and we feel that is one of our binding constraints to achieving the operational efficiency we need. But once we surmount that problem and given the positive environment we are seeing now, we think there will be a turnaround for the corporation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I definitely want to believe that the corporation is confronted with a lot of issues. But in every setting, when you come to a board, at board level and management level, there are carriers, there are passengers. And I definitely want to urge you to join the MD and the finance director, who they look like a prolific striker for that matter. And their carriers, you join them to help them achieve the desired goal of the institutions. One, by making sure that the salary is restructured in order to attract quality of staffs and retention component. Two, to also visit the act and make some necessary changes, especially those obsolete provisions.
I promise you, by the time you meet again next time we have discussed the acts, whether we need to look at for that. And on your first statement, I completely agree. You know we are very happy to have a very strong team at GAMPOST, despite the challenges that the company is facing. We are very excited that the team that we have is working with to address this, and hopefully that will turn around by the end of this year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chair, the financial statement. Page 22, where you have administrative cost. The first line is travel expenses. I just want to ensure from the board and whether is it both local and international? Yes. Now I just want to correlate it to page 24, where you have single management of the corporation's expenses. At the bottom you have CADIM international travel and air ticket international travel. Now, I don't know why it is not put together, Chair. Thank you. Separated.
On page 24. Mike. On the page 24, 19.3, senior management corporation, it is this cost, the cost of air ticket and per diem is only talking about management part of the per diem that were paid to management members and the air ticket that were paid to management members. That does not mean that if you look at the entire cost under the other page, is page 16, the entire cost of travel is paid to management. Not only management travels. Sometimes, most of the time, junior staff also do travel. So, but part of the total cost of travel, out of that, 120,000 was paid in terms of per diem to management members, and then 64,404 was paid as an air ticket payment for management members travel abroad.
Yeah, yes, what I mean is why separating them? Because I think it's all on the administrative cost. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all under administrative costs, but 19.3 is giving you a synopsis of the cost involved under management consumption, but not the overall cost of the entire corporation. So 19.3 is only referring to management members, because you look at it, it's not only talking about salaries, but it's talking about all their allowances, and medical that were consumed by management members. But then you look at the other point, which is point 16 under page 22, the 3.1 million, that is an overall administrative cost of the entire staff.
Yeah, thank you. Can we go to page 11? Page 11.
Of which?
Of the financial statement. Page 11, under operating activities. Yeah, we've seen an increase in inventories, basically from 6 million to 31. I would like to ask how come, why the excess of inventories? Okay. Under operating activities, page 11. On the increase and decrease in inventories, we have 6.5 and 31 million.
It is talking about the statement of cash flow. It is only showing the movement between the stock in inventory from the previous year of 2020 and then 2021. It is why you are seeing it as a decrease, because you look at the closing balance of 2020 yes. Inventory, it was 6 million. Yes. When you go back to the balance sheet of 2021 on page 8, you can see that there is an inventory sale of stamps is 35 million. The difference is the decrease in the cash flow that is stipulated there on page 11. Because it means that there were stock added back to the store of around 20-something million to be able to increase this amount to 35 million. Because you have an opening balance at the beginning of the year of 4.2 million and then you close with 35 million. Definitely there is a gap. So that gap was a stock added back in our stock of stand.
Stock addition.
Yes, but in the cash flow you will see that there is a movement. That movement is what we classify to be decreasing in stock of stand.
Yeah, so one of the receivables, I could see there's, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
All right.
I think this is okay.
Mr. Chairman, on the financial statement, page 25, senior management receivables, management car loan and management personal loan. I want to inquire whether you have a loan policy in place.
Can you actually take it again, sorry?
Page 25 of the financial statement.
Yes, okay.
19.4.
Loan price, okay. I'll give it to management again.
Yes.
Yes, we have a loan policy for car loan policy. For the personal loan is only 1/6, nothing else.
Only 1/6.
Yes, we don't give out personal loan for individuals.
So, car loan, is there any collateral when it comes to the recovery of these loans?
Yes, there are aspects for this.
Okay. Do you still have a pending loan that is yet to be recovered?
No.
Okay.
All loans have been paid for up to today.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, then this will take me to my next question. I just want to inquire about the speed of your service. How long does it take you to deliver a mail from to outside compared to other players here, like the DHL and others? Does that also count along?
I usually management and comment. It's just the same. It's five working days. You receive it. Maximum 6 working days.
But how about DHL?
DHL is also the same. It's also the same.
No, I think that is DHL is like 3 working days.
No, DHL is up to 7 working days.
No.
Yes, it's up to 7 working days. You know, there is a distinction here. You have normal postal mail, that is lettermail service, and you have courier. DHL fall under the category of courier services. Courier and postal services is different. Postal services is only one in any country, that is the National Postal Services.
Yes.
But courier is different. So the postal service, under the postal service also, they also have courier, which is called the EMS. The EMS means the express mail service. So we are also partnering with the private sector in this, in terms of using their infrastructure to deliver this page. So, and airlines. So basically, the EMS services, most of these documents that we are seeing, this passport and everything, they all fall under that category. We can deliver them anywhere. Wherever DHL goes, we can go as far as those locations at the same delivery speed. Yes. So that's our internal arrangement with us and the private sector, because I think currently there is a need for people to be partnering to make sure that there is efficiency in the work that we do.
Do you have a visibility in terms of the massive advertisement to get to the people? Exactly what you are doing so that you can attract a lot of customers.
Yes, we have a plan, we have a marketing plan on board in 2000. When the board came, they emphasized that there should be a marketing plan to get this thing done. And definitely there is one in 2024, and we are currently implementing the plan.
Not only plan, but how about the policy direction towards marketing?
No, that's exactly what I mean by the plan. Because what happened is this plan helped us to differentiate what we want to do as far as marketing is concerned. So basically, we are implementing it. We are doing some movements, some advertisements, some radio talk shows, and everything, just to make sure that we make the public aware of what is going on as far as services are concerned.
Just to add something little. Business is this kind of environment. You know that when Ramadan starts, then people will start sending, salibai or whatever to their relatives, outside. So the first day of Ramadan, we started advertising on GRTS television, and we also advertised in a number of FM stations, so that in anticipation of people sending stuff to their relatives outside. So now that we are eyeing Tobaski coming now, we will very soon these days to also start to reactivate those advertisement promotions, anticipating that people will start sending stuff to their relatives outside the country. So board has directed us to lay emphasis on marketing, and this is something that will continue.
But how was the impact of Ramadan advertising?
Alhamdulillah, it was a little bit better. It was a little bit better, yeah, compared to before.
If you want to compare that to the revenue, in terms of revenue generation from the first 3 months, you can see that the month of March, the revenue we receive is far more than what we have received in January and February. So you can see that that is an impact of the marketing activity that was done.
Thank you. From the statements that we've had, we are quite impressed, and means that GAMPOST has the potential to be very viable. If there was one or two things that you feel that needed to be augmented in the institution for it to gain its right footing in this country, what are those things? What would those things be? And I saw part of the financial statements that there was a COVID disbursement that was given to the institution. How do these increments in the budgetary allocation, how did it help the institutions? In what way did it help the institutions? Because I'm also seeing additional QuickBooks to be able to at least help the digitalization process of the institution, among others. So, in order for the institution to be viable and to be able to at least even pay dividend to government, what are the installments needed, the mechanisms needed in place to be able to back it?
Thank you very much, Honorable. I think 3 things are needed. One is technology. As we said earlier, our industry now is technology driven. So we have to have the requisite technology in place so that we are able to play the game internationally. The Honorable Chairman just asked the speed at which we are able to deliver. Alhamdulillah, that one is in place. But technology is something that evolves. So you always have to be in line. If you want to catch up all the time, well, you may be outplayed by competition. So technology is one that we are going to work on very seriously to have it in place. 2, we should get the ministry and PURA to regulate the industry. If the industry is not regulated, at one point it will become extremely fragmented, and the industry will no longer be attractive for any of the players, be it GAMPOST or the private operators. So we need regulation from PURA so that the industry is regulated. 3, we need restructuring of the salaries so that we are able to attract the right caliber of staff and to retain them so that we drastically reduce all the rate of attrition that we currently face.
Yeah. So you made mention that I think the board chair made mention of it with regards to the SOE, State-Owned Enterprise Commission that has been set up, and they are currently reviewing, doing a holistic salary structuring. When that happens, would it be fair to say that the institution will be set on a firm footing with regards to having the right people in personnel and expertise as well for the institution?
Indeed, Honorable, I completely agree with you. That is our expectation. that one stage is I was going to add that to buttress what he said, the last point on capacity in the corporation, both in terms of staff as well as, but more in terms of increasing their salaries, that we can retain the good ones and attract good ones as well. And once that is overcome, we certain that all these issues can be solved. Now, the issue, we understand the SOE justifying the fact that they want to look at all the other SOEs. And of course, we are different categories. GAMPOST is different from the other bigger corporations. But that doesn't stop us from really feeling that we don't have to wait for them. So, but we understand where they're coming from, but we also feel that we need to put some little bit more pressure on them, and because it is more urgent for us really than for that corporation in our own point of view. So, but we'll see how far we can push it to get this thing as soon as possible.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I quite agree with you. The SOEs differ in terms of capacity, especially our bigger corporations. But I know we have to be strikers to fight and make sure that we also improve upon the status quo so that we can be a bigger corporation. That is why I want to inquire, considering the volume of the people in the online business currently in the country, I want to think that whether you will have a complete overhaul with the strategy of advertisement, where you are only dependent on Tobaski and Korite, Idul Adhan and Idul Fit for advertisement. I believe this should be ongoing. Like we got that information here, the DHL, that attract a lot of money. Myself, I send a lot of things through DHL. No, we are coming. If that is happening, we are not aware of it, we are not privy to this information.
Yes.
And it's a very important revelation. Like if you are paying that amount to DHL, and they have the same speed in terms of delivery, which you are having, and a government institution, you are more reliable. If anything, if the issue of default comes, you can only hold the government to accountable because it is primarily owned by government. So I want to believe that the advertisement should be ongoing throughout the year. You cannot wait until when it is Korite or Tobaski to come out. Even if there are instances you prefer to come out with a reasonable discount that will attract, you do it in order. You need to be very strategic when you come to the advertisement.
Yes, definitely, Honorable. I think we can feel concurrence from management as you are expressing it. Yes, we agree. I think they will strategize and really advertise the whole year rather than focus on those big periods.
Yeah, this is more like a suggestion. I know it's ideal that we tend to use the radio and also the TV, but we are in a, how do I say, we are in a digitalized generation, and young people like myself, I don't know when was the last time I watched TV, or even when was I think I haven't listened to a radio in the past 15 years. Yes. So with regards to it's just a suggestion, with regards to the marketing aspect of things, I think it's high time we also target young people, influencers, because if you go online, you will see a young person having like 1 million or so followers. Like and like one message can reach like 1 million young people, both home and abroad. So these are all areas you can use with regards to the marketing, because like our Honorable Chair says, we are not aware that the institution was going through these marketing phases. And I think if it's taken to the next dimension, we'll be able to have more reach. And we all would prefer to use our own local, services than to opt for international services, basically.
So we agree, Honorable, and we will really delve into that segment and utilize
Chairman, under the management letter, there is an unresolved prior audit queries. Page 10 of the management letter. Previous audit issues. All of them have been adequately implemented, and there are few that are partially. But you look at statutory payment, the failure to comply with the payment of corporate income tax as required by sub-part 4 89 and sub 3 of the income and value added tax. This has not been implemented. And the management should endeavor to engage in the relevant institution in order to agree on the payment modality to seek for a possible way. As the new chairman of the board, what effort have you taken in order to resolve these issues?
This is a pending issue, and I would like management. So what is happening right now? It came in a board meeting the last one we had.
Basically, I think it's three here. We talk about the income tax, the corporation tax, and then the social security pension contributions. As we're speaking, up till today, we are fully compliant with the payment of income tax and that of social security. I will allow the MD to talk about some of the recent development as far as social security pension payment is concerned.
Thank you. Madam Chair, in terms of statutory obligations, we are up to date. And we are very pleased to inform this August committee that last month, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation awarded GAMPOST for being the most compliant institution as far as pension and injury compensation obligation settlements are concerned. We just received an award from Social Security to that effect.
Income tax is paid up to last month.
It's paid up to last month.
We pay income tax as we are paying salaries.
Okay.
We are very much compliant, and then we are like, and in our next board meeting, we will forward the award to the board of directors. It's in my office.
So you have something to say? I'm comfortable. Do you have anything to tell? We are allowed to step down. Yes. Mr. Chairman? Yes, we want you to just step out for 5 minutes. We want to have some internal discussion about the fate of the reports that we are dealing with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the House is resumed. For your information, we have agreed among ourselves to adopt this report. But we have some concerns which later I will inform you about those concerns. Can someone move a motion for us to adopt the report? Any seconder? We have, it has been moved and seconded we adopt this report. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Chairman, we want to thank you so much. It has been a healthy discussion. We went through the content of this report, and these are the issues that we found out. And that is why it was brought to your attention for us to have a discussion around. But one thing if you look at the management letter, page 10, the unresolved audit issues, I'm very much happy to know the level of compliance when you come to the issue of income tax and all those stuff. But there are pending issues that are not resolved. And in the management response, you intend to engage the board and you engage the ministry to see how are you going to write that off. Because it's in the report portraying a negative picture. And you need to be clear, that has to be resolved so that you can attract other partners who can be with you in order to invest into this particular area. I think mostly you are confronted with the issue of remuneration. that trickle down to staff retention and staff attraction. And that has been a problem. Generally, as a country, we have a problem when it comes to salary issues. That's why, in my own view, and we have been singing that song at the floor of the parliament, for us to look at the salary restructuring instead of increment. Because what is happening, there is a growing concern in the cost of living. That is not compatible with the source of income. And if we don't break these things, we have a problem. And that is cross-cutting, it affects every area of the country. These two things, I fervently believe that we need to work on salary structuring. That should be informed by a market survey. How much does African men buy a bag of rice, your daily fees money, tuition fee of your student, electricity bill, water bill? Gather all these things and structure the salary that will commensurate with the realities. And again, the take home, the compensation package, we talk about the social security. These are important. We pay all these things in order for them to invest and maximize an interesting revenue, so that that profit that are accrued, where some people serve up to 40, 45, or less than 40 in your service. So we expect on a monthly basis you are paying this income tax and social security. So it's important when you reach at the age of retirement, you get at least, if not 1, 2, 3, up to 5 million. You can get something slightly above that, so that you go and invest. And this will help us for people to go in for voluntary retirement. If not, they will also go in for contract. You recycle them in a form of projects. Nobody wants to retire, because if you retire, which means I'm sending you to an early grave. Especially if you happen to be a breadwinner of a family, a younger family, and you reach that retirement age, you are going out. So there is going to be a natural vacuum. So that is a problem. These two things need to be looked at as a country. If we want to, and in fact, by doing so, you'll be able to curb corruption in the country. The use of corruption is a problem. But if people are handsomely remunerated, there is going to be, you cannot completely eradicate corruption, but it's going to be minimal. And especially if there is enforcement of the law. So we are 100% with you to go in for an attractive salary. But mind you, this also has to be at par with your income base, and the income base has to be more. Since you have a strategic plan, we want to see that strategic plan that can be submitted to us, so that we can look at it together. And the other component that we are also worried about, the reliability, we talk about the marketing, which is very important. So we are advising if we can expand the marketing period from these two major fees to all year round in order to attract. But if also the reliability has to be certain. The reliability has to be certain. Because if you see how much is DHL collecting in this country. So if that goes to you, we believe that this will improve your position. So this is what we want to get the strategic plan. You can supply that to us. If it is available, let us 4th of June, if we can receive it. To the unresolved one, how best are you going to engage your partners to see a possible arrival? And since the salary enumeration, there is a regulation going on. There is a consultancy on the regulation. They are coming with salary restructuring, but that also depends on the capacity of the corporation. So, and that is important. Other than that, I want to hear from you whether you have anything to tell us, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Chair, on behalf of the management team of GAMPOST, and also on behalf of the external auditor that we coordinated with, we really want to extend our thanks and appreciation to you and through you to the members of the committee for the very insightful comments and advice that we've received today in the deliberations, which has really expanded our our thinking of the strategies will have to embark on in achieving our goal of meeting as much of the market as possible. And also, we are very grateful of the cordial environment you've created for us. We feel very at home here, to answer to both the management report as well as financial statements, and your very insightful comments. So we are very grateful, and thank you for that. We promised to share with you the strategic plan, the corporate strategy by 1st of June. You will get a copy. And we will continue to endeavor to really improve on the staffing and by attracting high quality staff as well as retaining the ones that are there, the ones that are working, through a very I would say responsive salary structure that will really be enough to address their challenges and their needs. And we are hopeful that the revenues, the projection of revenues that we are seeing right now can be enough justification for this increase in salaries. Which for us, for the board, was really, as we're working, we see how hard the management is working, the whole staff is working, and we still know how small their salaries are. It's really a pain point for us as well. So we are really endeavoring to make sure that we do all our best to ensure that this is remedied and we get them compensated for the effort that they are putting in. And we also promise that we will address your point of concern on the outstanding management issue, so that next time around will not be anything of this sort again. Thank you. Maybe the managing okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honestly, we are expecting an improved reports by 2022, 23, and 24. And we're expecting a significant jump of profit that you are going to make. That can be triple or more than this. But that is our anticipation. We are together in this. I definitely want to thank you and the management team, and that of the external auditors who have done justice to the reports. And the reporting were very clear. And I want to thank the representative from both GPPA and the National Audit Office here with us, the subject matter specialists, the clerk and the research officer, members of this particular committee, the media team here, particularly the GRTS. I really thank you for the new relationship, which is extremely very important, as I can see the Madam Chair was very passionate about the coverage, and we thank you. We hope and slowly this will continue, so that our activities, engagement here can be shown in the national media of this country. Thank you, and those from the print, we also extend a warm greeting and appreciation for your presence, covering each and every bit of activity that PEG is embarking on. Especially when you come to Foraya, you have been very instrumental. I've seen a lot of your publications. So finally, I want to say goodbye. You may now leave, and wish you a safe journey back to your various destinations. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.